Best Irish music on irishradio.org with Jerry Byrne.
I'm Jerry Byrne, it's Irish Radio. Now, since the pandemic and all the rest of it, I'm speaking to some of the great and the good of music and entertainment. My next guest is a singer who won the second series of the BBC talent search, The Voice UK. She's a relation of Philomena Begley, Ireland's Queen of Country, in fact a niece of Philomena Begley. She had made a huge impact back when she won The Voice and has never looked back since. I'm delighted to say hello to the one and only Andrea Begley. Andrea, how are you?
Hello, Jerry. I'm very well, thank you.
Listen, lovely to catch up with you, and listen, well done on all your success.
Thank you very much.
You know, that was absolutely superb. Now, listen, you started out in music from from a very young age. You were performing at the Flas around Ireland.
That's right, Jerry. Music, as you know, with being in the genes, as they say, with my auntie and Philomena, it's been a part of my life for a very long time. I've probably been singing as long as I've been talking. So, yes, I started out doing the feis and the Flas and singing in my local choir, and definitely gave me a great grounding in the early days and a love of all types of music as well, which is great.
Indeed, that was excellent. Now, as well as that, I mean, you've actually got a law degree as well, which you completed in 2008.
That's right, yeah. So I still did all my studies and went to school and went to university. I suppose my parents were always keen that I had a backup plan, as they say. So, and yeah, no, I've always maintained doing my studies and then working as well. So the music for me is definitely something I enjoy doing, and I'd love to do more of it. But I think if the global pandemic has shown us anything, it's shown us that unfortunately music's one of those areas that's quite vulnerable if there's ever any kind of problems like this.
Indeed so. I mean, I've been speaking to so many singers and entertainers, and it's quite incredible how and there are absolutely thousands upon hundreds of thousands of people involved in the arts, be it in acting or music and entertainment, even if it's circus performers. Everybody has been absolutely, their work has been wiped out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh no, it's been devastating for a lot of people, and unfortunately, it just doesn't look like it's going to change anytime soon. And, when this is all over, everybody wants to have the entertainment sector. We'll all want to, maybe more so than ever, go back out to concerts and the circus and the cinema and theatre. And hopefully, please God, all those things will come back sooner rather than later. But yes, it's definitely been a hard time for a lot of people.
Indeed so, and sort of by the very nature, I think, of all of those things, that all of the arts, the performing arts like that, it involves social interaction quite logically, and unfortunately, that is the one thing that spreads the virus.
Exactly, and as you say, the social, and that's key, really. It's the atmosphere, it's being in a crowd, it's sitting beside someone and turning around and asking them, well, what did you think of that? And, it's all part of the buzz, and that's why we do it as artists, and that's why we go along as punters to watch and listen to people perform. So hopefully one day soon we'll all be back to that.
Yes, fingers crossed on it. Listen, you made a huge impact initially when you appeared on that particular season of the Voice, and then when you went on to win it, you got a huge reaction, and it took you to a totally new level of international music. Oh
yeah, I had brilliant opportunities from The Voice, there's no doubt about it, and I got to work with some great people like Danny O'Donoghue from the script, and got to meet Sir Tom Jones, of course, and it really did open a lot of doors for me. I got the opportunity to perform in Beijing in China, which was absolutely phenomenal. Got to perform in Windsor Castle and then at the Albert Hall, and just really was just a wonderful time. And I've been very blessed since then to be able to keep doing the music and writing new songs and recording. I just really love it and I enjoy it. So it's a great hobby, and it's a great way of expressing yourself, which I think we all need a bit of an outlet like that, especially at the moment.
Indeed so, indeed so. Now, at that time, actually, after you won The Voice, you moved for a period of time to London. You were signed to Capitol Records.
That's right, yeah, for a short time, yeah. I moved over for a number of months. So, I mean, I've always been back and forth to London a lot. In the early days, unfortunately, it wasn't for good reasons. I used to attend the Moorfields Eye Hospital, of course, in London, which is a centre of excellence, and I suffer from glaucoma, so I've been registered blind from a very young age, and then thankfully the trips over to London during The Voice and afterwards were for much more pleasant experiences. And I do love going to London, and I have a sister who lives in Walton, in Surrey, Walton-on-Thames, and would visit her quite a bit when things are in normal circumstances, of course, and love going to the West End and everything about London, really. It's absolutely brilliant.
Right, a big change from Pomeroy and County Tyrone.
Definitely. A few more people, Jerry, just a few more.
Indeed. Tell me this, you're a very, very, outspoken and accomplished, speaking about, your loss of sight, and you're involved in, the Royal National Institute for Blind People, etc.
That's right, yeah, that's another, I suppose, area that I'm very passionate about and have a big interest in. As I say, when I initially developed my eye problem as a child, I had glaucoma, and I've lost quite a large degree of my vision over the years and had a lot of operations. So on a day-to-day basis now, I would have very, very limited useful sight. I use a white cane to get around, and a lot of speaking technology. I have a talking phone and a talking microwave, and pretty much everything talks to me. So I'm very, very lucky to live in a world now with technology that makes things so much easier. But it definitely has its challenges, and that's one of the reasons why I enjoy being involved with the RNAB, because it is a charity which tries to promote and really advocate for people like myself who still unfortunately come across a lot of obstacles and barriers, especially at the minute, of course. Everybody's kind of suffering, of course, from coronavirus restrictions, but it's very challenging for anyone with a disability, and especially sight loss, trying to maintain the social distance and getting out and about is very challenging. So it's not the best for a lot of people, but it's particularly hard for people with a disability.
Indeed, yes. But one of the challenges possibly may be, sight as regards social distancing at the moment.
Absolutely. Thankfully they've brought out guidance to say, if you are out and about as a visually impaired person, you can ask for assistance and to be guided, because obviously, you still need that bit of extra help. Which is good that the RNAB and the government has cleared that sort of question mark up. I think a lot of people were worried if they'd still be able to ask people to assist them in shops and things. But there's no doubt that it's forced a lot of more isolation on people, and a lot of people who have sight loss will be older. Older people in the pandemic have been isolated anyway, because a lot of people are having to shield. So it's really just, I suppose, the charity and other organisations trying their best to highlight the problem, but also try to provide services where they can over the phone or online. I know that doesn't work for everyone, but just really trying to reach out to people and hopefully get them the support that they need.
Indeed, absolutely excellent, because yes, I can well believe the challenges that it is. So tell me, what have you been doing since the total lockdown? I mean, you haven't been appearing in any concerts or any.
No.
the same as the rest.
Exactly. Well, I've still been recording music. I've got a couple of new singles which I've recorded, and I'm just finishing off working on some videos for those for online release. Which I hope to do in the next month or two. I have done some Facebook Lives. I think a lot of artists have done that as well, just to try and keep connection with the audience. And it's not ideal, but in the current climate, I think at least it's some way of connecting with people. and just really trying to work on new songs. And I released an album just at the turn of the year there, so really, promoting that online and trying to get the word out there. And actually been working on practicing my piano a little bit. I learned it as a child, but haven't really revisited it in a long time. So the lockdown gave me a good chance to dust off my piano skills, which are very, very rusty. But certainly helped with that a wee bit, and practicing the guitar. And, there's always good things to come out of these things.
Right, indeed. Excellent stuff on doing that. You certainly haven't been letting the grass grow under grow under your feet at all. So you've been doing, you've been busy in doing, as much as you could to try and stay connected to people. Because I think one of the things which nearly all musicians, singers have said, that one of the major things they actually miss is people and the meeting of people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%. I mean, I have kept my social distance really from pretty much as many people as possible. So you totally miss that human interaction. And while, online is fine and it fills a certain gap for connection, it's never the same as meeting people in real life and getting the chance to talk to them and find out what songs they enjoy or what they'd like to hear more of, or maybe sometimes what they'd like to hear less of. And just really that connection, the crack, and having a bit of banter with your audience, and giving people a wee shout out and meeting them afterwards and signing the CD or shaking hands, which of course, as you know, these days is very much not permitted. And that sort of day-to-day human interaction, we're all missing it on so many levels, but I think particularly as a musician you miss it a lot, because your audience are your lifeblood. Without them, you'll go nowhere.
Indeed, that's exactly it. I must say, the same as yourself, and the same as with many other artists, you got a huge reaction to your streaming on Facebook Live. I mean, incredible. I mean, one of your things. I mean, you've got thousands upon thousands of views. It's truly incredible. I mean, it's television channels, as I say, would be happy to get those viewing figures.
Well, this is it, and people are very good, at supporting me and tuning in, because, it's like anything, there's lots of other things they could be watching at the same time, lots of other artists, and indeed lots of things on TV or reading a book or something else. So it's very nice to know that in the midst of it all, they've chosen to tune in to me. And the beauty of it, the online stuff too, is if they miss it at the time, they can always go back and revisit it, which I suppose is maybe the one plus side in comparison to real life concerts. Once you sort of miss those, that's kind of it really. So it does have its positives, there's no doubt about that.
Indeed, and as you say, like it's a lovely way. It may not be perfect, but it is a lovely way to to keep a link with people, and to be able to reach out to people as well, in the times that's in it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Andrea, listen, it's been lovely to catch up with you, and I wish you all the very, very best for the future, and keep going. And listen, fingers crossed, as soon as it's safe to do so, hopefully see you out on stage once again.
Thank you so much, Jerry, and thanks for having me on as well. And yes, as you say, hopefully we'll all be back out there performing in the not too distant future. And in the meantime, hopefully people will be able to tune in to my Facebook on Andrea Begley Music and other platforms, and keep the music going, as I say.